How you doing?
Hey Vic, game one is always unique in that you don't have a whole lot of tape, obviously, to study of your opponent. How do you approach, your game planning this week?
Yeah, in this case, that's really not the case. They're pretty much the same team that they were last year that they ended the season with. And unfortunately, they were playing really good the last half of the year and into the playoffs, and they're really good on offense. So, yeah, that can be a problem, but not in this case. No, same staff, same offense, basically the same players, except for Josh Jacobs.
Does it benefit you? Does it benefit you? Although your scheme has been around for forever, you've been around for a little bit. I won't say forever, but does it? But you also now have new players, and so do you think it benefits you at all? The mystery.
Not really. I don't think it does. They certainly have a lot of tape to watch of places I've been, and so no, I don't think so.
Where do you start with a quarterback like Jordan Love and that sort of dual threat ability?
Yeah, I mean, the biggest problem in defending their offense is they run it just as good as they throw it. So they have a really good mix on first and second down, run and play action, and it makes it hard to defend. And then you throw in what you alluded to of a scrambling mobile quarterback, it adds another dimension to it. And they're really tough to defend. They run it and throw it equally well, and you throw in an athletic quarterback, and it'll be an all-day sucker.
And how much is that challenging for what's been really a refreshed linebacker core when it comes to that kind of part of their game?
It's challenging. They have a really good play-action game, which, linebackers are the ones primarily being attacked with that. So it is very challenging, and we haven't seen a lot of that type of play-action in training camp. And so it is a challenge, for sure.
So much is made about your linebacking core competition during the training camp. Do you consider that ongoing as we get into the season, or in your mind, do you know what you want?
No, it's ongoing. You would like to settle into guys, in a normal play time rotation, who's in on what. But, it's still ongoing.
It seems Jordan Davis is fairly unique from a body type and skill set perspective for you. Do you have anyone who can kind of spell him from the nose tackle role?
Yeah, Booker can. I'm sure we'll be playing a lot of nickel in this game too. So, there'll only be 2 defensive linemen in there at that time. So hopefully the flow of the game will take care of that.
On the nickel, how prepared is Cooper after 4 training camp?
I think he's as prepared as he can be, but having said that, no, not where he needs to be.
You said except it's the same offense except for Josh Jacobs. How big of an except is Josh Jacobs?
He's a hell of a back. Obviously I knew of him when he was with the Raiders. He's a hard runner. He's good, got good contact balance. He's a good pass blocker when they need him to be. He can catch the ball. He's really one of those all-around good backs in the league, but really excels with the ball in his hand.
Do you see Avante Maddox?
Summer talking about the conditioning of Carter and Davis. How do you see their conditioning heading into week 1?
We'll see. They haven't been pushed like they potentially can be pushed in this game as far as the amount of plays they may have to play. So that's TBD.
Avante Maddox finished most of practice at.
Say that again?
Maddox finished most of camp at safety. Is that
Who did?
Avante Maddox?
Yes.
Do you still think that he can do nickel if necessary, or is it just that you like him at safety now?
He can do both.
As far as Carter goes, outside what you were just talking about, the number of reps, he's obviously very talented. Where do you think he is in the stage of where you want him?
I think we'll get a better barometer of that after this game. He's only, I think, played 3 plays in the opening preseason game. Practice is practice. I think I'll be able to better answer that in a couple weeks.
Do you see Quinion as being a guy who's going to be on the field just about every play? Like, is he ready to handle that kind of responsibility beginning Friday?
Yes, yes, and yes.
And what has he shown to kind of make you believe that?
He's just played good. You know, he's done a good job picking up his responsibilities, done a good job playing, and he will be out there.
Do you feel like your defense got enough on-field time to be properly ready for week one?
You never get enough, in my opinion. But we certainly have had enough to be ready.
You still get nervous for games?
Yeah. Some games, sometimes yes, sometimes no, and there's no rhyme or reason to it.
You talked as early as OTAs about how many new elements there are, how many new guys, new scheme, new coaches. How do you feel the process went with that whole gelling process?
I think it went well. I think it would have been nice to have another joint practice or two to help that along to where we could see different offenses and different schematics from the opponent. But overall, I think it went well.
Do you have any conversations with Brandon Graham about maybe pushing him more than he went last year? I know you were happy with the way he played in preseason, but do you think he can be pushed?
Yeah, I told him to be ready to play. There's no pitch count on him, if that's what you're asking.
Couple more, please. The first game with at the controls of a new defense, how do you kind of go into that wondering, all right, you throw a lot at it players in the training camp. Do you kind of think about that in yourself and how much you throw out there systemically in the first game? How do you manage that?
Yeah, it's definitely something you do have to manage. We're all tempted as coaches. We all brought up different things in our staff meetings getting ready for this game about this might be good, that might be good, and they all might be good. You know, they're all good ideas, but at a certain point when you have a new/young defense, you got to be careful not to ask them to do too much.
And so what are you most curious to learn from in this game?
Most curious to learn? How good we are.
You've talked before about what Bryce Huff needs to show to prove that he's an every down player. I guess, how is his progress in training camp? Where is he at going into the season?
It's been good. Hopefully he'll continue to improve, and I think he will with reps. And now each and every week we'll present new challenges to him because you're seeing different types of offenses every week. So different style of runs, different style of passes when on the rare occasions when he does have to drop. So every week will be a new challenge for him.
How long did it take before you realized he could handle whatever you threw at him?
Pretty quickly, because we did play him at nickel early on, and he did fine in there. I do think for him personally, it would be good to lock in at one spot, because even though we've been very happy with his development and his learning abilities, he still is a rookie, and I do think if he can get comfortable at one spot, it would be to his benefit, but we may not be able to do that.
Does it help
Last
that
one, please.
Green Bay's mainly an 11 personnel team, so it is going to be a lot of nickel?
Now, they play 12 in your vernacular and 11, about 50-50 on the early downs.
All right. Thanks, everybody.
Thanks, man.
All right.
Locker room's open, and I'm going to